Welcome back, guys. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me. I always appreciate that. And I'm going to try to be brief. I'm going to try to be really brief in this particular video. As you can see what I have on the screen here, and you're going to see me looking over at the screen from time to time. Madden NFL 24 Superstar deep dive. And I'm not really going to give the deep dive. I think I'm going to play a little Superstar this year. We'll see whether or not I want to do a series, but I just wanted to kind of first and foremost say, listen, I'm happy that it's back, but I'm going to take a little bit of a different spin, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to comment a little bit on the trailer. So I'm going to go into the trailer. What we will do is talk really quick about the features, right? Superstar is back. We all see what they're talking about here. Yada, yada, yada. It says, when you're looking at the feedback of our players have given us in response to the career modes over the past several years, it's clear that the career experience Madden gamers want most is Superstar. And I can agree with that. I remember the days, when they, I can't even remember what the name of that feature was. Remember the one, the Telltale Story? I'm so glad it's gone. I do not remember the name. Pardon me, I don't remember the name of that feature, but you guys know the one I'm talking about. That Telltale experience, so to speak. I remember when they did that. I told the devs directly, this is not what the people want. Your competitor is definitely in NBA 2K. They want more of a my career type of mode. They did not do that. And that particular mode, I think, stayed in the game 2 years, if that, and then it was gone. So then they tried to do Face of the Franchise. And once again, it's still not anywhere close to the actual career element of what you would find. Again, not comparing basketball to football, but again, obviously, NBA 2K has influenced this, the my career type of thing, right? Also, EA Sports themselves with NBA Live, they had the one and all of that. Thought they did that really well. So again, as they were doing that, I did not understand why Madden didn't have the same experience, where clearly, sometimes you just got to go back to what people want from the past. I know a lot of people try to criticize, the Madden devs or what have you, or whoever is responsible for it, whenever they bring out a new Madden and they're returning features from previous Maddens. Well, these are features that many of us grew to love back in the day, and we thought they would be well, beyond and well advanced at this point in time. So it's good to get a lot of these features that were once in the game back in the modern day game, because I feel like everything that was once in Madden should be in Madden today, right? So I even told them then, listen, man, that's not what the people want. And they even said right here in their own article, for several years, people have been clamoring for you to bring back Superstar mode. Finally, they've done it. So like I said, I'm not going to, do the normal video of breaking down each element. I'm just going to kind of highlight some things, but I really just want to go into the trailer the video for the deep dive. And I'm going to take a different approach, talk about some of the assets that I feel like should be in standard franchise that are not. And I don't understand it. I've been saying for years now, anything that is available for the most part in the career mode should be available in the franchise mode, right? Because it's the same assets. You can share those assets. Again, I cannot recall the name of that old feature, the one that none of us really liked. But I even said then, they had stuff and elements in that should have been in standard franchise that were not. I was told way back then that the Combine, the idea was to eventually have stuff like that in standard franchise mode. It is yet to be there, even though you see right here on the screen, the NFL Combine is in Superstar mode. So of course you have the Combine, and it says the impact of Combine ratings. I like all of that. I'm not going to dive into any of this stuff right here. But then they kind of talk about the on-field performance that matters. I'm going to talk about that. Superstar missions, that's, definitely unique to Superstar mode. Social media reactions, again, that could be kind of unique to Superstar mode, but we need more of that as well. That's impactful in standard franchise. Side activities and mini games. Okay, we got mini games in franchise mode. a new way to play Superstar Showdown. Now, obviously, that's not really something that I would think about incorporating in standard franchise. So I'm not talking about all the features. I mean, of course, you want to have these modes feel different. I get that. But it's just some things. Progression and customization. Progression and customization. Progression and customization. Standard franchise. It should be in standard franchise. All right, so that's about all they have. Like I said, for you guys who are interested in the Superstar mode from what it's offering, excuse me, you can definitely go check out this article and read everything, so you know all the details. But I'm going to take a slightly different approach in my video. Let me put my headphones on so we can kind of share the experience together here. We're going to flip over to YouTube. All right, we're going to flip over to YouTube and want you guys to listen in as I watch the video along with you. And then, like I said, there'll be some stops and pauses. And first and foremost, let me say shout outs to my man Spade, K Spade in the building. Some of you guys, some of you veterans out there know who that is. That's my man right there. That's my man right there. Me and him was able to connect because of EA Sports. Both of us being in the original Game Changer program and such like that. And that's how we connected. Had been followed Spade for years, but then me and him met in person and, developed a friendship from there. So shout out, salutes to my guy Spade. Let's get into it.
It's back in Madden 24. Live your NFL career in Superstar, the league, then take your avatar over to Showdown and continue progressing with your friends on your journey to the prestigious Madden 99 club. In this video, we'll deep dive into...
Hold on, let me back it up to the beginning just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Give me a second. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Here we go.
Superstar is back in Madden 24. Live your NFL career in Superstar, the league, then take your avatar over to Showdown and continue progressing with your friends on your journey to the prestigious Madden 99 club. In this video, we'll deep dive into the return of Superstar and its features like the NFL Combine, mini games, real-time player grading, and our new Superstar Showdown game mode. In the league, you will become a superstar by using the Game Changer controller Field Sense to write your script the way you want, starting at the NFL Combine.
All right, so I'm going to intersect right there, or interject. The Combine, man. Why don't we have a form of that in standard franchise? Don't understand that. Why don't we have a form of that in standard franchise mode? And excuse me, guys, I'm looking at my phone here. Got an alert that somebody was around my driveway. Okay, it's nothing. But why don't we have this? Why don't we have this in standard franchise mode? Standard franchise. And what am I talking about? Some of you guys might ask. Well, I'm talking about having at least some type of segment in franchise mode where you visit the Combine, right? It might not be the same things to do here, right? So maybe you're not controlling the player because that would be reserved for Superstar mode. But how about allowing us to go to the Combine instead of it just being like, text stats as we're scouting? How about having this in franchise mode where if we wanted to, we could watch some of these players doing these drills? And I know, it could be a lot of information or, that's a lot of space or what have you to take up, as far as what's being offered in the game. But again, I can't even get with that because there's other games. Again, I got to always reference NFL, no NFL, NBA 2K, how deep and the depth that game has, everything from, my career and the neighborhood and the city and whatever you want to call it, and all of this other stuff that you can do and watch and visualize in that game. Why isn't NFL Combine something that you can go to and observe in franchise mode as the GM or the coach? And what about the visuals? The presentation. Again, a lot of this presentation that we're seeing here is specific to Superstar mode, but again, you should be able to use a lot of these assets to make presentation better in franchise mode. Let's continue.
See how you stack up against the best combine performers from the 2023 showcase and set the stage for your future. Compete in position-specific training drills and mini-games like the 40-yard dash, broad jump, 20-yard shuttle, and bench press that increase or decrease your superstar's draft stock, while also providing the ability to earn rewards that improve your players' ratings. Further cement your draft position with the Combine Interview, a timed football test that'll take you up or down the draft board according to your answers. Then enter the draft and take the league by storm with a unique and personal experience based on your game.
The time test and all of that, something like the Wonderlic. It's not that, but again, how about giving us those results in franchise mode? Or even if you don't want to build it out quite yet to where, we can watch the full experience, how about being able to send our scouts there? And then the scouts can come back with reports of all of these things, right? And not just the text, but maybe there's video there that we can see. Hey, this guy really stuck out. Here's some video of him doing the 40-yard dash. Here's some video of him doing the bench press. Oh, here's a clip of the interview that he was doing. Things like that. And those assets currently exist. And then you could build off of that. You could create storylines off of that. But I don't understand how certain assets are available and they're not utilized across the board. Now, you may have seen a video I did recently talking about how, why is it certain things in some EA Sports games, not in others? And that's from a game-to-game perspective. Right here, I'm just talking about assets that currently live in the very game that we're talking about. These assets will be in Madden 24, but in one mode only. And to me, career is career, right? Remember back in the day, they did the whole connected franchise, connected careers, or whatever they wanted to call it, CFM. But at one time, it was connected careers. This should be it. Superstar mode actually should be your experience when you decide to play the franchise as a player. Carry on.
Play performance. Now that you're in the NFL, complete missions that reward your on-field play, unlock brand endorsements, and further customize your player by equipping all new celebrations and emotes.
Let's go back and talk about the brand endorsements and all that. Again, this should be stuff that's happening on your team for your high-level players, for your top-tier talented rookie. Think about a CJ Stroud type of guy. Rookie quarterback, the Bryce Youngs of the world. You draft them on your team. This is the type of stuff that you can build storylines off of. So-and-so and so has been offered a brand deal, yada, yada, yada. What if something goes wrong with his off-field activity? See where I'm going with this? These assets live right in the game. Let's continue.
We've added a social media news feed where you'll see a variety of reactions and commentary to what you do on and off the field, along with stats and league news from a cast of NFL insiders, including Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky.
Of course, we have this in franchise already, but I think it needs to be more in-depth. More things talking about what's actually happening in the season. And not just the team or the coach. No, the player. It needs to be more of that. Discussing what is going on in that current franchise. And those things should have an impact. Maybe some of the things that they're saying negatively might affect your player. Some of the players on your team that don't have thick skin. Maybe you build those scenarios with the scenario engine off of some of this stuff. Scenario could be, hey, media's really getting on you, yada, yada, yada. You see what I'm saying? Because I've also talked about how the scenario engine has not changed. It's still the same experience. Same predictable experience. So you could build more scenarios even off of the feed. Let's continue.
The social media feed will also include live action videos from the new Madden Cast podcast. where Ryan, Fred, and Channing dynamically react to your performance and choices off the field. On the field real-time.
I'm gonna back that up because y'all know where I'm going with this one. Let's hear that again.
Live action videos from the new Madden Cast podcast, where Ryan, Fred, and Channing dynamically react to your performance and choices off the field. On the field.
We have said for years that there's no post-game, halftime, or weekly wrap-up in franchise. You have this Madden Cast podcast with the good brothers from the Pivot right here in Superstar mode. And again, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't have this in Superstar mode. You should. What I'm saying is you should utilize these same assets and build Superstar and franchise mode all in unison, all together. And I understand it takes a lot of resources and such to do that. Honestly, again, with me having the opportunity over the years to go down to EA Sports, I understand how many resources it probably took to bring Superstar mode back, right? So what I'm saying here is more or less saying what you need to do going forward. Because I know it took a tremendous amount of, team pulling from this team, pulling from that team, and a tremendous amount of investment to bring Superstar mode. I know that. The same way when Frostbite came into Madden, how they were pulling from this team, that team, and it sucked resources from other areas of the game. And this could be part of the reason why you don't see as much done to franchise mode this season, because this would have been a heavy lift. I get it. But now that this is here, there should be no excuse and no reason why a lot of these assets don't live in current franchise mode. And again, I know it was a heavy lift, but I still feel like there could have been a way to develop these features in both modes. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to sit here and say it would have been easy. No, I'm just giving you my opinion. Let's continue. Let's see what else is out there.
Real-time player grading provides immediate evaluations, moment to moment and play to play, taking all of your actions into account. In Madden 24, key actions on.
Let's rewind that because I'm going somewhere with this as well.
And dynamically react to your performance and choices off the field. On the field, real-time player grading provides immediate evaluations, moment to moment and play to play, taking all of your actions into account. In Madden 24, key actions on the field are broken down and analyzed, giving you instant gameplay feedback, letting you know what you're doing well and what you may need to practice.
I just talked about in my last video how Madden once had things like EA Rewind and telling you what happened and what transpired. When I was comparing what they have coming in FC 24 that Madden doesn't have, right? As far as the analysis, boom. Real-time feedback. It's the same kind of thing. Now, I know this right here that you see in post-game performance report is kind of more tailored to the user experience in terms of, your superstar player. I get that. But again, this type of thing, analysis, some type of feature where, go back to the EA Rewind. Like, I thought that was a dope feature. And I know a lot of people might have skipped through it, but I thought that was a dope feature to give you real-time feedback, as well as teach some people what they did wrong. Some people may have learned the game better by watching those things. But this type of post-game performance report, right? This also could be, even if it's not video, this could be some type of post-game show to kind of let you know what went on in the game. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look at this, 19 completions, 272 yards, 5 touchdowns, 37 rush yards. Just really breaking down what he did. So what about having this kind of detailed, even text to reference how the game transpired. But then here's the big one. When they talked about, let's back it up, because I don't want you guys to miss this part right here. Right here.
On the field, real-time player grading provides immediate evaluations. Moment to moment and play to play, taking all of your actions into account.
Y'all know what that is right there in my mind? How it could work in franchise mode? What do I always say about practice? Yeah, we talking practice. Haven't you guys heard me say for years, hey man, this should be where you have to practice, and practice makes a difference. Every snap makes a difference. What you do in practice could determine your progression as a player. Not only that, you have a good week in practice, you might come across a guy that's doing his thing in practice and you're like, you know what? I'm going to give him a shot this week in the game, because everything he's doing is being evaluated in real time. So what about being able to put this in practice, allowing us to practice scenarios or do, again, you guys know I'm a Steeler fan. I'm going to steal from Mike Tomlin and crew, the 7 shots drill that they do. What about being able to do some of these type of things, and how the players are performing can dictate, how they're graded in real time can dictate whether they rise or fall in preparedness, or maybe they can develop through practice. Again, I'm going to rewind it one more time and listen to everything that Spade says here and see if you can follow where I'm going. Here it is.
And choices off the field. On the field, real-time player grading provides immediate evaluations, moment to moment and play to play, taking all of your actions into account. In Madden 24, key actions on the field are broken down and analyzed, giving you instant gameplay feedback, letting you know what you're doing well and what you may need to practice.
You guys see how that could be translated in practice and post-game analysis. Continue, because this one right here is good too.
Feedback, letting you know what you're doing well and what you may need to practice. With grades, you'll earn rewards to boost your players' ratings and be the superstar everyone is talking about. In Madden 20's ratings practice. With grades, you'll earn rewards to boost your players' ratings and be the superstar everyone is talking about.
Now that's kind of similar to, the XP points and skill points and all that. That's in franchise mode. But again, it just goes to show you how you could combine all of that and allow you to not only earn that just through the training weekly, even though they have introduced mini games that's going to add to that. But what about real practice scenarios? Like, why is practice in franchise mode? It's really just for the user that practice plays. But what if practice mattered? What if that was how you could also allow guys to progress? Like maybe some of the focus players, you can utilize the mini games for that, but then there's other guys that perk up in practice. You hear coaches always say, man, so-and-so had a real good week in practice. So what if the free practice option actually made a difference? And don't get me started on chemistry and stuff like that. That's a whole nother conversation of how I think practice could tie into that. Let's continue. Let's see if there's anything else.
In Madden 24, not only can you create a roster of different positional players, but now you can have a separate avatar for each position. So you can tear up the game as a running back and be an unstoppable force as a linebacker with completely separate progression paths. When you reach rating thresholds and complete specific gameplay objectives, you unlock tiered abilities that make your avatar more powerful on the field. You can also
definitely like the tiered abilities. But again, some of this stuff might be more tailored for Superstar. Let's keep going.
Develop a player's skills with new side activities that include practice drills, community events, recovery methods, and mini games.
Recovery methods.
That's right. Rushing attack, target passing, and all of your favorite mini games returning to Madden 24 would be yet another way to grow your career inside of Superstar mode. With multiple ways to play and progress, no matter where, what, or how you play, you're making strides to become the best to ever do it, even in Superstar Showdown.
All right, so that's where we can end it right there. You know, Superstar Showdown, obviously. Keep that in Superstar mode. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I don't have much more to say after this. I don't want to hold you guys much longer. I said the video would be short, and it is not. But do y'all see where I'm going with this? Do y'all agree with some of the assets that I pulled from this video and how they live and will be living in Madden 24, but they are not available in franchise mode? You gotta invest in standard franchise mode. That is the mode that built this game. Give those players the same type of immersion that can be found elsewhere. And that's all I got. So again, guys, before y'all go, I'm always gonna remind you, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.